Princess Haile. First of all, tell everybody what single you're promoting now, the music that you have out now.
Yeah, so the single that I'm promoting right now was just released about 5 days ago. It's called Archive. It's actually a remix song to Dovey Magnum's song Archive, which is ironic. But the reason why I did that is because a lot of people need to know that there's a conscious and a spiritual almost DNA or pattern that's bestowed into us. So not only can we put it into music and just speak about it, but we can actually like incorporate it and make it be lively, just like you would listen to regular raw dancehall or reggae conscious music. It can all be the same unified flow. So that's the new single that I'm promoting right now. I also released a song out of Argentina called System Set Away. Yes, so thank you for everybody that's been supporting me and sharing that song as well. You can find it on Spotify, all digital platforms, my YouTube, my SoundCloud. And aside from that, I'm also working on a mixtape with 2 producers, both in Kingston, Jamaica. If everything goes well, I would like to turn it into an album. So that is my next project.
Okay, that sounds full on. So, all right, first of all, let's get to know you a bit. Yes. It was Princess Haile your given name?
No, Princess Haile is actually a discovered name. It's what I created when I first said, I want to do music. I want to be an artist. So I was thinking of names, and at the time it was me and another individual, and he just was jokingly said, how about highly nervous? And I said, you know what? I like Haile, but not in that sense. Princess Haile, that's what I'm gonna call myself. And that's actually what I've been going with since 2016. But I was born Ivana Forshaw, and Ivana actually means gift from God.
And I was about to tell you it's a beautiful name, but the definition speaks for itself.
You know, the more that I kind of find myself, I realized how just like divinely blessed I was from birth. And your name holds a lot of weight. It's just like a signature. It's what carries you for most of your life. So it has a lot of purpose. And I just really, my mom told me what my name meant maybe like 2 weeks ago of me questioning her. Like, what's my name? What's my name? Because there's so much going on spiritually. And I'm like, there gotta be more answers than this.
Yeah, it really is a powerful name.
Thank you.
All right, so we're discussing your music. So you were speaking about the singles that you've actually dropped now. I was listening to your music. I've got it here, and you've got like a good woman is hard to find.
Yes.
But a king that's mine is hard to come by. That's one of the lyrics in one. What song is that?
That's also called Hard to Find. It's a promotional song. I did that song when I was bearing my second son. And they have the same father. And the reason why I said a good woman is hard to find, because from a man's perspective, there's not a lot of good women. And from a woman's perspective, there's not a lot of good men. But we lack what exactly, just like when Buju Banton said, I want to be loved, but not for who you think I am, but who I actually am. So you got to realize what makes a good woman, what makes a good man. And then you realize why it's so hard, because you're either not for that person, or that person is not ready for it. It's either or. My music teaches.
We'll get to that, but the reason why I went through that and started with that sentence is because you have Watch Over Me as well, which is Get Another Chance by the Skin of My Teeth. You've got a line in there, and then you've got the Catch Me Off Guard, and you've got Have a Woman on Your Yard. You Catch Me Off Guard, Have a Woman on Your Yard. So it sounds to me as if you've been through quite many experiences.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna release Off Guard or even write the song Off Guard, but at the time I had a music mentor, and his name is Art by Southside. So big up yourself, Salty, same time. But I was holding on to something that was already past. So he told me express it in a song because a lot of people can relate to that. So he found the rhythm for me, and that same night I wrote Off Guard. And we both loved it so much. I bought the rhythm off of YouTube and I released it, I think the next week or so. And the more and more I sang it, the more and more I realized, like, this is a beautiful song. And not only that, women really can relate to it because we're caught off guard 9 out of 10 times because we believe and we trust and we're a little bit naive, but that's okay because we're learning. But that's how off guard came about.
Empowerment. What is your purpose? Is it women empowerment? Is it
So,
self-reliance? What is it?
It's really togetherness. There's no separate. And that's what I advocate for. You cannot have a man without a woman. You can't have a woman without a man. However society wants to label it, that's the foundation. Even if they're going to be transgender, they're going to have to somehow find a way to balance that man to have traits like a woman or that woman to have traits like a man. That's why they have hormones and stuff like that. You cannot have one without the other. And that's, I strongly advocate for that. All my music advocates for that. You choose what you want to do, but I advocate for what I advocate for. And I'm a strong believer in that. You cannot have a man without a woman, and you can't have a woman without a man.
All right, cool. So now that we've said that, and those are what your beliefs are, why music? Why not write or act or something like that? How did you get into music?
Well, when I was about in middle school, I would write poetry. I would always try to go to poetry contests and stuff like that. And I would never forget. It was about, I think, 8th grade. And I did my last poetry contest and someone came in first place and I came in second. And I didn't feel that, I felt like that the winner was a little bit more privileged than I was. So after that, I put it down. But then my brothers and sisters, we would always sing to each other because my dad has a music set. He always had a music set. He always been big into music, especially reggae and 90s music. So we'd always joke around. And my brother, I call him Twin, he always used to be like, let's see who could sing this song the best. So we'd always play like that. And I never stopped writing poetry or my thoughts. So at a time, I would just start writing the rhythm, just going, no format, no nothing. And it wasn't until I met RD by Southside that he taught me what a song really constructed of and how to make it sound good and all of that. And over the time, I kind of grasped the concept a little bit better.
All right, where were you born?
I was born in Hartford, Connecticut. Born and raised. Both of my parents are Jamaican, though. My mom's from the country and my father's from the town. They've always grew us up on this Rastafarian type of culture and lifestyle. I have a huge family. I'm one of 17 siblings. So we never really have it in life, but we had each other. And that really brought me a long way. So that's why I love the culture, the Jamaican culture as a whole, or the Caribbean culture as a whole. There's so much teachings and there's so much love and life in it. It's vibrant.
Yeah. So I'm like I say, I follow you on Instagram. You display so much love for your family, especially your children and your father.
Yeah.
What is that bond like between yourself and your father?
Oh man, it's beautiful, to be honest. Sometimes I still seek his approval or like his judgment. And other times I don't seek it because I already know what he's gonna say. If it failed, keep trying till you get better, or go write about it, go pray about it. He always say, go put it in a song. So any kind of feeling I'm feeling, I'll write it down right away and put it down and probably go back to it and like, I could write a song out of this now that I'm calmed down and I have a clear sense of mind. But with my sons, I grew them with the love that my father gave me. Now, don't get me wrong, I grew up with my mom and my dad. But the way my dad expressed his love to his children, that's the same way I do with my children. And I don't go around it. If you don't love your children the way you're supposed to, you're not really a friend of mine. Just like that, because the children are our future. Not only that, but they're innocent, so innocent. So I'm gonna love that innocence because why I was loved. So I'm gonna get that right to them. I didn't miss out. So I'm gonna make sure they don't miss out.
Same way, so.
Okay.
All right. So with your father being that leader in your life, is he your only go-to elder? Do you have other elders that you go to for advice?
I definitely go to an elder. He's also an artist. His name is Ayafonso. I respect him so much. when I first knew about people being vegan and stuff like that, it was through him. And I seen how his family operated, how, you know, they were just loving and together and they would read all the time. So I'm like, all right. Now I started stepping into my spirituality more. I was reading more about Maya, laws of nature through him. And anytime I would feel some type of way, he's the first person I call. Anytime I would feel some type of way, maybe he'll call me and be like, you know, he'll even call me Vanna. He said, Vanna, I just feel mythically right now. Read this to you or something. That's how I knew, like, we're so much bigger than the flesh and the clothes and the hype. We're so much bigger than that. And it's real beautiful once you really step into that essence. But Ayafonso definitely is a big, big elder to me. I really love and respect him, almost like a second father to me. Yeah.
What advice do you have for youth coming up?
Definitely seek someone that is older in age, someone that's responsible, someone that knows what discipline is, someone that's not going to sugarcoat things to you, because sometimes you need your feelings hurt to shock you from the constant like confusion or the constant speediness. Like, calm down, slow down. You're gonna reach there. You can reach there, but everything takes time. Everything takes time. You might not be ready for it right now, but if you listen, maybe 10 years from now, you probably perfect what you wanted to do when you was younger. So everything takes time, man. You gotta find the right person to talk to, because some people will lead you astray and brainwash you too, which is a form of mental slavery. So you also have to know how to know yourself, how to decipher your own thoughts, so that you can keep sane, because spirituality works with self. You're not going outside to talk to God, really. God is talking to you inside. That's why they say close your eyes. That's why they say you got to have a still environment and be quiet, because all inside is all yourself. Me. It hadn't been a long while since a radio host or a PR like yourself send me a questionnaire and say, you know what, this is the foundation block, confirm it if you're up to it. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'm gonna think about this. So the question that you asked was, who would I speak to, or who would I want to mentor me from the past or present? And I started thinking of names like Buju Banton, Tanya Stevens, Michael Jackson, and then it hit me, Garnet Silk. I would love to reason with Garnet Silk. Most of the time when I'm going through a spiritual battle, or I'm just feeling low in myself because how the masculine energy wants to treat the feminine, I'll start playing some Garnet Silk. Consider the garden and every little flower that grows. Like, what? You know how the flower is the oldest thing, like that has fragrance on earth. So there's some type of beauty in it. And every song that he sings speaks about spirituality, or just the awareness how beautiful earth actually is and how important it is to our well-beings. And not only that, when he said Christ in his kingly character, what I mean? And I have to think about it over and over and over again. And he had so much knowledge and he had so much awareness of himself. And not only that, spirit spoke to him. He was aware of Christ. He was aware of that spirit. You get me? And like I said, our legends and our prophets and our pharaohs, they die young, or they die quick, or they die abruptly, because it's not meant to be known. But I would have loved to talk to him to know how does, like, what made him put those things in music and not be afraid to do it too. Because you got to really put on a warrior suit when you put out certain music saying certain stuff. And he took that chance, and it was a beautiful chance, because everybody still listens to his music and it teaches still.
Somebody told me once that they went to a Garnet Silk concert and they felt like they was at church. Like he was that powerful, that he actually came across as a leader, you know. So I definitely hear what you're saying. Also, what you said, I want to pick up on a point, what you said about our prophets and our leaders dying young. In most of my interviews, if I talk to somebody and they bring up an issue like this or a subject like this, I would always say it's important to journal and write down for the next generation to learn from. You know, we don't tend to, like, it's a Bible, but we don't tend to make our own individual Bibles for other people, for the next generation to read upon and elaborate on, you know. But this is why our musicians are so precious, because they record what they record, and those recordings are saved as much as we can. Most of them are published. So that's why recording artists are really important.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, most of the time I'll draw back to those old oldies but goodies. But what I see now, they don't teach a man supposed to be with a woman. They don't teach that naturally procreation happens that way. They teach you can create babies. They teach all this creation business because they want to create life. There's only one thing that can create life. You can create. Man can create things, but not create life. And that's what I want to put in my music, because I'm scared that my sons are not going to know that. I'm scared that my sons are not going to get the right teachings, and they're just going to be out here, and being out here, you're not using your pineal gland. You're not using your third eye. A lot of people don't even know that you're not supposed to use fluoride because it blocks up your pineal gland, which shoots right to your third eye. I haven't used fluoride, and I haven't used it probably a long time because my parents really were into that stuff. So we used to brush our teeth with like myrrh and salt and just little things like that. So I'm really like in tune, and some of the things that I say or do, it may be even before my time, and I have to go back and say why I said that or why did I think that. Is because I already got it bestowed in me, but I got to put it into a way where it's understandable in modern time right now, even with the world moving so fast. Because when my sons hear it, it's gonna be a whole nother time. You get me? And they probably even don't even look at it or listen to it too keenly. But because it's their mom, they're gonna replay it and replay it and replay it and get something out of it each time. And that's what I'm really here for, the next generation that's to come. This generation is cool, but the next generation is what I'm planning for.
Exactly. And I would say that as well, just as in when we opened this interview, we started off speaking about your father, and you had said that if you're in a spiritual warfare, you would contact him, or you already, sometimes you don't have to contact him because you already know what he's going to say. Mm-hmm. Your children already know what your beliefs, you have already installed that into them. They know who you are and they know what you feel. So there's no need to be scared that they don't know. You've already educated them. I think it's at the point is, will they, as their individual beings, will they continue on that same path? And I think that's when the line gets blurred. But
don't get me wrong, they do. But certain things I can see that I have to explain to them a little bit more, because it's the generation where they question everything. Everything. We could have been told something and we just say, okay, because that's how it's going to go. But they question everything. So I really got to explain to them. And sometimes it's contradicting to them, because what they're taught at school or their other friends from in the community or whatever, they're not feeling that way. They're not talking like that. They don't know these things. So even sometimes he'll talk to me about Jesus. And I said, son, I don't know much about Jesus, but I can tell you about Christ. I can tell you about the Spirit of Christ. I can tell you some stories about Jesus, but the individual Jesus, like there's certain things I have to literally black and white to him. Like, I'm not sure, but I could tell you this truth, and this truth go overlook that. So you don't have to deal with that confusion. So that's really how I deal with my children. I let them know, like, just go right to the top. They say you cannot be saved without going to the Lord and Savior, the Lord and Son, Jesus Christ. But to me, I go right to the source. If you didn't teach me about Jesus, I would have went right to the source. So that's what we stick to. Can you hear this okay? Thank you.
Like I said, thank you so much for taking interest in the platform. Before I go, I'm going to ask you my main question, Princess Haile. What is your message that you are sending to the world?
All right, because I planned for this one. All right, the message that I'm definitely sending is love. Love is the answer. Love conquers all. My slogan is just love enough, because even in a heartbreak, even in sorrow, even in frustration, once you think about love or how much love you have for someone, or even loving what you're seeing, it changed the dynamics. So love definitely is like a key. It's like a master key. It is a master key. It's a master key to open every door, every single door. Yeah, that's a real key to the city. Having love. So that is the message I'm sending. Having love, that's the key to the city. That's the key to your art. That's the key to your mind. That's the key to everything. Having love, starting with love. Yeah, that fosters a lot of things. So again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. To all my viewers, to all my supporters, to all my friends, to all my families, to everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. It is just love. Continue to follow me on social media. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. I will respond. It may take some time because it's just me one, but we will get there.
No, sure. Please pick up who you want to pick up.
All right, so first and foremost, shout out to my youth, them Jabo and Rome, what, yeah. And then big up my father, Just Screw, my king man, I love you, non-stop, yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. Shout out to my family, Empress Love, enough respects, Kira Bera, enough respect, Candy, yeah, on enough respect, my love on Ayafonso. Oh, so I'm also planning a wedding. Ayafonso is gonna be singing at my wedding. I'm waiting for him to respond, but it may be open to the public. I'm still trying to organize some things, but it's definitely going to be a queenly and kingly event. So again, massive, just love, Pantapa love. I can't extend it more than I already am, because it's vast. I love you guys so much. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, social, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Snapchat. I'm on everything. All you have to do is type in Princess Haile. You would get right to me. So again, Love Radio, I am your highness. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for blessing the platform, and you have a good day now. Okay, bless
Thank you. Take care. Yeah, man.
Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe so you can be notified about future interviews. Have a lovely day.
If you would like to promote your music on Love Radio, find us on all social media platforms or email contact@luvradio.co.uk.